Hi friends, it's Em of Plan with Em here, and today we are going to be talking about routines. So something that I have been really excited about is getting into sort of my winter routine. And I mean, it might be a little late for it, admittedly, but you can take the ideas that we use here and do this for any season or really just any sort of time of your life. Here I'm using the Archer and Olive Kit Club to decorate mine for winter because it just seemed really thematic. So I'm going to be using the stickers and the ripped paper predominantly with a little bit of washi. So don't forget to check out the blog for a printable that will have tons of ideas for things that you can incorporate into your winter or really year-round routines. I'm starting by ripping the paper just because I really love the look of that ripped edge and then the contrast that the snowflakes have with the pale sort of lavender dot grid paper. I really like it. So I kept the dot grid side face up here, but if you are wanting something to look a little cleaner, you could use the solid side instead, which I really like about these Kit Club papers. They're also super thin, so they're not going to add a bunch of extra bulk to your journal. Next, I'm just going to be sticking in these papers, so you can use whatever adhesion method works for you. I have some permanent adhesive on a tape runner, but you can use a glue stick, you could use just regular tape, whatever. And then we'll be trimming down the sides with some scissors, and I use a corner rounder just because I can't get my scissors to go perfectly around the corners ever, and it just annoys me that they don't look as sort of round. They usually end up looking very pointy. But that is just me. So once you have your, background decor set up, right? Think about what you want in your routine. And I would honestly recommend doing this on a separate piece of paper. I did not do this, but just brain dump everything that you would want in a routine. And let's be real, that's gonna have more things than you could possibly do in a day. So we're gonna have to prioritize or make it options. So for example, if I'm thinking about exercise, well, I love going for walks. I like going for hikes, and I like doing Pilates and cycling classes. I'm not going to do all of those in one day. That would not be good for me or for my body. But what I could do is say exercise is one, and then put in some ideas for how I could exercise. Because I often find myself in those ruts. I'm like, oh, what do I do? What am I going to do? So think of like categories of things that you would want to do rather than, the specific items. Unless, of course, there's something that you want to do every single day. Like for me, I want to read every single day. So that would be kind of in my non-negotiables category, ultimately. Like those are things that I want to do or that I need to do every single day. So, for example, taking medication, brushing your teeth, getting out of bed, right? Those might go in your non-negotiable category. Now, obviously, if you're like me and you have depression, sometimes some of those things are negotiable. But let's just say that this is our ideal routine, right? This is the routine that I'm doing on a day that will make me feel my best. So some other sort of categories that I was striving to include were self-care. I thought that was a great thing to include. So in my little self-care options, I have things like listening to music, writing in my journal, lighting a candle, things like that. We've got categories, we've got hygiene. And obviously some of these categories can, mix and match a little bit, right? A nice hot bath, well, that is self-care and hygiene. Love it. Face mask, again, it's both. But these are just, sort of general categories that I've come up with, and I'm going to include all of these ideas in the printable. Another thing that might end up being in your ideal routine is work. you know, we still have to work, and so I want to have my routine sort of work around my job, because I know that that's kind of a non-negotiable again. Some other things, we've got creative time that can go in, that can sort of lump in with self-care, but you know, if you want to be more specific, I think you should. Sustenance. So this can be fueling your body, making sure that you're drinking enough water, anything that really like gives you energy and helps you get through the day. Rest as well, taking breaks. For me, it's a little bit of like taking a walk, stepping away, maybe making a mug of tea. I've been really into tea lately, and I think honestly it's changed my life. It's so dramatic, but it's true. I'm starting to put in my routine, and we can talk about it a little bit, but a lot of it is, there's so many non-negotiables. I'm like, okay, I need to take care of the cats. I need to get out of bed, brush my teeth. Didn't put this on there, but you know, wear my night guard. That's definitely something. I don't know if that would be hygiene. It goes in my mouth, so probably. But you know, that's sort of where we're going. I have reading as one of my categories, but I think I would honestly include that under self-care. Preparation for the next day. That's one thing that makes me feel so much more at ease, is when I know I've packed my lunch and I've picked out my clothes for the next day. I don't have to worry about it. So anything that helps you get ready for your next day, even think maybe you're doing a meditation, or you're doing a 5-minute dance party to get you amped because like tomorrow is going to be a really great day. Tons of things. Another category that I included is outdoors, getting outside, getting some sunshine on your face for 5 minutes, moving your body, like just seeing birds and feeling the wind on your face. Amazing. That's something that I want to be able to do every day, especially in the winter time. You go to work and it's dark, and when you leave work it's dark, and you just live in a dark winterscape, and it's sad. So scheduling in a little bit of time, maybe run your lunch to go outside, go for a walk, or any sort of activity that makes you happy, do it. Absolutely do it. And then another category of things that are in my ideal routine, which maybe they're not in my ideal routine, but it's things like life admin tasks. So, you know, those emails that you need to send, or going to the grocery store, errands, the things that like, they aren't necessarily fun, but they make your life possible, or like more good. Better might be a word for that. So, you know, if you need to renew your insurance or pay some bills, stuff like that, those are life admin tasks that sometimes I feel like I get so much dread associated with them, and I go, oh God, it's so impossible, I can't do this task. And then when I do it, I go, oh, that was really easy. And now I feel great. Look at me, I have health insurance. And so I also have that in my routine list. Another category, and item that I think I'm actually writing it down right now, is relationships, I would say. So people. One thing that I want to do is have dinner with my husband every night, and then watch a TV show together. Right now, it's kind of, we both eat the same meal while watching different things because I've been really stressed out at work. But spending time with him always makes me feel happier. And so find a person or people who make your life better by being around them, or even just talking to them, and make sure that you schedule a little bit of time every day to do it. It's just like so many little things, little bright spots in your day, where if you have enough of them, it is impossible to not have a bright day. Somebody write that down. That sounded great. I also have on here, I have my life admin tasks, which we've talked about, right? Trash and recycling, a huge one. a huge one. But I also have like my nightly routine, which is definitely a lot calmer than my morning routine. My morning routine right now is kind of just running around and doing the bare minimum. My night routine, we're talking tidying things up. We're gonna talk like brushing my teeth, flossing my teeth, putting in my night guard after I clean it. Oh yeah, that's where we're at. I usually also at this time read a webcomic. I use Webtoon on my phone, and it's just part of my nightly routine. I get to read a little snippet. It's like 5 minutes, right? That's about as long as it takes my night guard cleaner to actually clean it. And it just makes me happy inside. And the last thing I do every night before I go to sleep is I read a book until I have dropped my Kindle on my face enough times that I say, okay, yeah, I'm tired, I should go to sleep. Also involved in this is cuddling with my cats, which is a great addition to any routine. Because honestly, animals actually really help with the routine because they help you wake up and they remind you to feed them and yourself. So I love that. I had put times on this, honestly, but I think it might be better without the times, just because it really lets you sort of see and flow through the entire day without saying, on this I have written down that I will be leaving for work at 8. Some days I might leave later, other days I might leave earlier. That's part of the sort of idealness of it. But also, I have here that I'm going to shower after life admin tasks, when really what might happen is that I shower right when I get home from work so that my hair has time to dry. But that's fine. It's flexible. It's your routine and you're setting it. The important bit is that we make the tweaks rather than just abandon it entirely. Okay? Because we want this to be something that brings us joy, that we can repeat, and that we can, take into the times in our life that are just super stressful. So right now, I need this routine. So I hope that you enjoyed these tips and sort of categories for you to set up your ideal routine for any season. I would love to see any recreations that you do, so feel free to tag me on Instagram at planwithm, and happy routine setting.